Is it working?
I see you. I see you on YouTube. There you are. Is it working?
Oh, hey, okay. So now we gotta mute everybody or we're gonna get some weird echoes. It's streaming, so I'm gonna say hi. It's streaming.
Welcome
so
to
I'm
Katz,
gonna say
Chatz.
hi. It's
We're
streaming.
figuring out
Welcome
some
to
Katz,
Katz,
Chatz.
Get set up
It's
for you.
streaming. Welcome to Katz,
Say
Chatz.
hi. Get set up
It's
for you.
streaming.
Welcome to Katz,
Say
Chatz.
hi.
Set up for you.
Welcome to Katz,
Say
Chatz.
hi. Set up
It's
for you.
streaming. Welcome to Katz,
Say
Chatz.
hi. Set up
It's
for you.
streaming. Welcome to Katz,
Say
Chatz.
hi. Set up
It's
for you.
streaming. Welcome to Katz,
Say hi. Set up
It's
for you.
streaming. Welcome to Katz,
Say hi. Set up
It's
for you.
streaming. Welcome to Katz,
Say hi. Set up
It's
for you.
streaming. Welcome to Katz,
Say hi. Set up
It's
for you.
streaming. Welcome to Katz,
Say hi. Set up
It's
for you.
streaming.
All right. So, Emily, can you hear me?
That is a crazy echo on YouTube.
I think we figured it out. Can you hear me right now?
On YouTube?
Just like at all? Then
I
okay.
can hear you on Zoom. I'm not. I muted YouTube, or I paused YouTube.
All right. So we'll figure this out. All right. It's streaming. I have the YouTube down. I don't think that crazy echo is gonna happen again.
I mean,
I can hear you on YouTube.
Who's that?
Corinne.
Hey, it's Kristen. All right, great. We're gonna have to mute you, Kristen. Let's say hi to Dave and stay on mute.
Oh, I'm looking up there. I should be looking there. Hey.
All right, that's great.
This is not the most comfortable couch to sit on, is it?
All right. So we're live right now, and we do have a couple of people on the Zoom. I'll try to get dual visuals here. And if you guys have questions, send them through the chat on the Zoom, okay? And we're gonna take those ones first from anybody. And we got make sure we got Dave on the shot.
This thing?
We'll move that. Put that right down there for now, or you guys can see us, you can hear us. Fantastic. We don't need that so big. We can have you guys over here. Alright, that works.
Are we there?
Yeah, we're there. I think we're there. Are we 6 feet apart? I think we're approximately
Can
6
you
feet apart.
reach? My arm's less than 3, so we're good.
Social distance. Alright. Hi. We're in Dave's basement. We got a couple people on Zoom in Dave's basement. Just so that you people at home will know what you're missing. You can join this free Zoom party. It looks like this. Hey. Oh, we got it on the big TV up here, too. Hey.
This is all over the place now? It's like YouTube, Facebook, all that
I
stuff?
think so. While we talk, I'm going to hit a couple shares.
Okay.
Try to make that work even better. So, while we get going here, what should we talk about?
I don't know. Thanks for coming over. It was a long time no see.
I haven't gone anywhere in a really long time. It was fun to get dressed up, wear real pants that weren't sweatpants. You know, it's been a sweatpantsy kind of season for me.
These are as real as my pants get. I got jeans and only jeans.
That's it.
Well, I do have nice pants, but I don't wear them too often.
So we've been home for
Long time.
10 weeks, like now, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe more. How you doing?
I'm doing
Little
okay.
check-in?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I miss about, I don't want to say the only thing, but the thing I miss most about not being able to go out is playing. I mean, I can't play the way I normally play, and that's not easy. In a lot of ways, actually. I mean, physically I like to do it, mentally I need it. I'm definitely addicted to it. I'm addicted to, you know, the crowds and the crowd responses and all that kind of stuff. But
Amanda,
I need to
Corinne,
play.
can
know?
you mute your phones? Everybody needs to mute, otherwise YouTube is all echoey and crazy.
Hey, Emily. I'm going to make you a host, and then you can mute people for me, okay?
Okay.
Cool.
Hey, Liz.
Hey, it's Liz.
Amanda, Brad, hey.
It's Brad and Amanda. What's going on, guys? I love it.
This is the first time I've done one of these with a Zoom thing, so I'm not used to seeing people. It's kind of cool.
It's great, right? We're going to we can have up to 100 people, and then if people have questions, they can ask their question and GTFO, so we can let more people in.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that'll be great.
And then we should probably watch one of those, like, the other thing, the Facebook thing. If
Yes,
like
we're gonna do both of those things.
questions on there too.
So I would like to ask anybody who's watching to help us out by sharing this around a little bit. Share it to the pages where people would like to join us. You can share the Zoom link also. Tell people they gotta stay muted. That's important. I'm really happy to be here today. We had dinner with the kids, and
We did.
you know, it's just been my kids and boyfriend for months.
Yeah, we've been pretty much staying here. I mean, like everybody else. Well, maybe not everybody, but like most people, just kind of staying here and doing a lot of yard work. Back breaking, knee hurting, yard work.
But you've been doing these Wednesday night live streams.
Yes.
Which are like the highlight of my week.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
They're one of the highlights of mine too, I have to say.
It's been really fun to have just a thing on the calendar, something to look forward to. You've been really deep diving into that stuff, and some of us have been getting together on Wednesdays
I've noticed
this
that.
way,
It's kind of cool.
which has been really fun, and I'm real happy.
Yeah, everyone has to stay muted or it just gets crazy.
Who's not muted?
Who's not
Yeah,
muted?
everyone has to stay muted.
Oh, Darren.
Figured it out. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Just like in all.
Yeah, you're fine right now on YouTube. I don't know what it is you're doing right now, but you're fine.
Maybe because we're not talking?
We'll figure this out. All right.
Does it get crazy when we talk?
I have the YouTube down. I don't think that crazy echo is going to happen again. Well, that's like from like an hour ago. Who's playing that?
Okay.
So, hey, let's see. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah,
All right, great. We're going to have to.
yeah, if you're on the Zoom, you have to stay muted.
Why is that playing over again?
You know, I think it's because I think you stopped streaming on YouTube, so it just rewound at the beginning of the video.
It's not streaming? It is streaming.
I don't know.
Maybe we should just go
Or
straight
maybe
to Facebook.
it just, I don't know, maybe I paused it and it went back to the beginning.
All right. Zoom party. We're going to try something different. Stay on the Zoom party, and I guess we're going to move our stream to Facebook.
There we go. I don't know if that will be better, but I guess it's worth a try. I suspect you're going to end up with a crazy echo on anything, really, if you're trying to broadcast from the same thing that,
No, we're not.
yeah.
Just a minute. We're going to get this.
Yeah.
We like having you here, so
Yes. I mean, Corinne's going to get this.
I'm going to eventually get this. Oh.
Let's go to my page.
I mean, Rumpke manages it somehow because they broadcast a Zoom thing like this with 5 different people over Facebook. And they do it every Tuesday, I think.
Can we log in as you? Can I log in as you?
If I knew how.
Do you know how to do that?
I
Do
don't
you know
know.
your
I
password?
have to go up and get it. Should I go get it? Should I go get it?
Can you go get it?
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Yeah. We got this.
So anyway, while we're figuring out how to get a quality stream to you, thank you for being patient with us.
Corinne, I sent you a message.
We are not even using my phone right now, Kristen. This is from like a...
Talking through on Zoom.
Yep. This is at the end of that. That's a
You have a microphone with your computer?
one
Is that
exclamation.
I'm using a webcam.
Jasper, one
it? A
exclamation.
webcam?
Yeah.
The Zoomers need to mute YouTube and listen only through Zoom, or vice versa. We are the problem.
Yeah.
Because we will be listening to both and echoing.
Yeah.
So we need to choose one.
It doesn't like that password.
Who does it?
Just to listen through.
Nope.
Did you have capital J, Jasper? One
Yep.
exclamation point?
Okay, later.
Is that a 7? Did I get the... Is that right?
Cassie set it up. I didn't set it up. Yeah, that's a 7.
Oh, you know what? Oh, I don't know.
Bird and Katz.
Try to keep capital J,
It's like her.
A-S-P-E-R. And a 1.
Oh, that's a 1. That's what I was doing wrong.
Exclamation point.
Okay. I thought it was 2 exclamation points.
Corinne, it wasn't echoing.
Is it still echoing?
It never was. The Zoom call is listening from 2 devices, which made an echo effect.
Is it okay now?
The Zoom people need to mute one or the other.
All right.
Is there an echo for people who aren't on Zoom?
hear me?
That's the question.
Did you just get a 6-digit code?
Probably. No, I haven't done anything.
It might have gone to Cassie's phone then.
No, I wouldn't. Is it coming to my email or to my text? Please text
It says check your notifications in your... Oh, here, text me.
Text it.
Okay.
There it is. 519. 525.
This is my fault. I was trying to be fancy and get us on the YouTube.
There's no echo on YouTube. It's only for the people on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're
Somebody
probably
just told
okay
me.
then.
So we should be good.
As long as none of us that are on Zoom try and watch YouTube, we're probably okay. Or Facebook or anywhere else that's streaming.
You can watch YouTube, just mute one or the other, so you're only hearing one.
Right. So mute that.
So, Dave, what was your password to everything again?
It's actually only to this because Cassie made this password.
Oh, right on. Yeah. This is the
That's
only
why I
one
didn't know what
here
it
right now.
was.
All right, so we're good. We can just talk. This is fine, right? This is fine.
Corinne, I like your hair, and I miss you.
Oh, I miss you too. Are you in Puerto Rico right now?
I am.
Everybody's saying the YouTube stream's fine.
How's life in Puerto Rico right now?
It's hot as fuck right now, actually, and it's cool. We're not allowed to go to the beach, but otherwise it's just lovely.
They have things at the grocery store that you need.
We never ran out of toilet paper. For like a week, we didn't have hand sanitizer for the pack. Yeah, nobody's freaking out here, really. Right?
I am.
All right, my friend Jeff's freaking out a little, but not very much. Overall, it's been a lovely place to be in
It
quarantine.
says it's not found. I mean, is it?
So mute this.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So
Good.
tell me, why would I have YouTube and Zoom up right now? Why do I need both?
I don't think you need both. If you're on the Zoom, you don't need the YouTube. If you're on the Zoom, you're getting it 30 seconds before everybody else.
Okay, so there's nothing happening on YouTube that's not happening on Zoom.
No. The YouTube is like for posterity, so people can watch the replays,
All right.
so that we can then, post it to different groups and pages. I don't know
Got it.
why that is superior to Facebook. I heard that it might be. I don't know. But we can talk about this more. This is our first time doing this, so we're not awesome at it yet, and I'm just glad it's working. Hey, and look, there's 10 of you on the Zoom.
You're on TV.
Hi.
Wow.
Wow. Let's see. Yeah, you can watch it if you don't have Zoom.
Jerry was sitting on
Oh,
one
yeah,
of the chairs.
you have
all
Zoom.
up on it.
No, I don't. This is.
Oh, you can do it on.
I guess so.
Oh, hey, wait, check it out. We have a live studio audience tonight.
Oh, cool.
There's Liz and Brad and Amanda.
All right.
We're a little late because things have not been going as planned.
We figured it out. We had a little weird, like a very psychedelic echo for a minute.
Everyone on your Facebook? Can you go to Facebook and get it? Yeah, hopefully. I don't know how this works. You gotta go to Facebook and then click and it goes to YouTube or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, let's do this. Let's get this started. Let's get the show on the road.
Started. So you guys asked some questions and submitted some stuff in advance. And if you have questions now, we would love to see them. And I will read them to Dave if you are not on our Zoom chat. If you are on our Zoom chat, I'll unmute you for your question if you've got one. I think Kristen has one. Kristen, do you want to be the first to ask a question?
No.
No? All right. That's fine. I'll ask a question.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so my very first favorite song of Acoustic Hookah was Loner, and I apologize to my hookah friends if that is too cliche or whatever, but I left that first show singing that song, it still pumps me up. Right, and So, ironically to me, after that night, the one thing I got from Acoustic Hookah more than awesome music was this huge community. So those two concepts seem opposite to me, that you would identify both as a loner and also be the beating heart of a huge community. How does that work out?
How does that work out? Okay, so when I wrote loner, I mean, obviously there's the word loner, which, you know, is defined by what you were saying there. But I was more a loner in a sense. I mean, I was never a person who liked to hang out by myself too much, really. Not in that sense was I a loner. I was more a loner when it came to my family. And I'm not saying I didn't want to be around them either. I mean, sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't, like any other kid. But I didn't follow what I was supposed to follow. So whereas my family, you know, my brothers were doing what they did in school and whatever and stuff like that. Now this has all changed since then for my brothers too, to some extent. But you know, they were following that path. You know, you're supposed to go to high school, you go to college, you get a really good job, and that's how you live your life. And I was on this path, and in that sense, I was alone. You know, I didn't really have any support at that time from my family at all, in any way, not emotionally or monetarily. So that's what I was thinking about. Like, and it started younger than that. I was kind of on the path, but I was always kind of like the black sheep, you know, or whatever. So that's the loner part. The loner's like going off in my own direction more than like being
Have you ever felt that when you are hearing "I'm a Loner" sung back to you by 10,000 people at the same time?
It's been a while since 10,000 people.
It's definitely happened.
It's been a while.
It's definitely happened.
I don't try to read too much into when people are singing a song, when they're watching and you see them hopefully absorbing the lyrics in whatever way they do. I don't really try to put too much into my head about how they're interpreting the lyrics. It's interesting when I talk to people and find out how they interpreted the lyrics, because it could be a vastly different thing than, you know, what I was thinking. But I think that as long as you get something from it, even if it's not what I meant, that's great, you know. I mean, I think that you'd have to put a lot of elements from the lyrics together to get anything from it. You're not just going to hear "I'm a Loner" and that's it. You know what I mean? I mean, you might. That might be all you remember, but when you heard the song...
Yeah, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of different lines versus things that I'm saying that might say, like, you could take a lyric like, I gotta think now, you know, any lyric, like the one about being drafted and, you know, and if that's the case, I won't go. Well, this is a bad example, because in that case, my parents probably would have agreed with me, but that could be one where somebody would say, no, my family's like very military oriented, and if I said that, or you know, then they would be the loner if they felt like I did. You know what I mean? So that's what you would call poetic license. Okay. I guess when you're writing lyrics that you can, like my mother says, oh, you know, she'll listen to the song, she's like, that's not true, I never said that to you. It's like, well, you know, you didn't say everything in there exactly the way I wrote it, no, but the idea's there, you know.
Okay, so I'm going to read a question from our friend Jeff Mullet Morris.
Jeff Mullet Morris. What's up, Jeff?
Who says, I want to ask Dave what his favorite concert ever was, and also, what is your favorite cover song that you ever played?
Okay. Wow. All right, so I guess this would be one of those questions where I can't give you one really, but I'll come close. So, favorite cover tunes I've ever played, just in and of the fact that I love the song and the arrangement of the song and all of that type of thing, would, I think, be the version of Manic Depression that we did a few hookahvilles ago or whatever by Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears version, more or less, of Jimi Hendrix's tune. I've just always loved that, and it's always just been in my head like this like fantasy. Wow, if I could ever play that version of that song, it would be really cool. But I have other favorite cover tunes. I mean, if I think really hard, I could probably come up with a lot of these, but I'm going off, what comes first, right? So I'd say there'd be two other ones for different circumstances. I think that doing my favorite encore that we ever did at Hookahville was when we covered Feeling That Way Into Any Time by Journey. That was amazing because Journey was my band, growing up. They were the band for me. And this was like before Escape in that album where they got Jonathan Cain and got really poppy, which I do love a lot of the stuff on that too. But before that, their stuff is just so spectacular to me. Everything about it, the songwriting, the musicianship, just everything about it. And I got a lot of what I do, I think, from listening to them. And just doing those two songs together with Greg Rowley, who I loved. He was the original keyboardist. Who, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Greg Rowley, the original keyboardist of Journey, is the guy who sang Black Magic Woman by Santana in Evil Ways. That's the same guy. He and Neil Sean, the guitarist from Journey, both came from Santana's band. That's how part of how Journey started. So that would be another favorite cover. And then the last one I think would be probably when we did Lost Sailor, Saint of Circumstance with Bob Weir, because
that's up there for me too.
Yeah, I mean, and I wouldn't say it's because I love the songs so much. I mean,
they're so good together.
Oh, they're great together.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not like my favorite songs ever or anything like that. And it's not something that I always thought my whole life I would be cool to play those songs. It's because they were cool songs to play. They were songs that nobody had heard him play in a really, really long time. And a story behind that, which is kind of cool, was so that was, which one was that? Was that 99?
That was the second time.
So that was 2000.
Yeah.
Really?
2000. Yeah, was it? Oh.
No, I think it was the first one. It was 99, wasn't it?
Okay, maybe.
No, you're probably right.
I think that was the second time.
Okay, I think you're right. So anyways, so as you can hear from that, he had already been there the year before that. But so I went up to his trailer, said, "Hey, Bob," or whatever I said to him. You want to come up and play with us? And he's like, "Yeah. What do you want to play?" And I said, "Well, this is what we want to play, Lost Sailor, Saint of Circumstance." And he looked at me, and if I'm not mistaken, the words he said to me were, "That's ambitious."
That's amazing.
And
then you nailed it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, we had worked on it, obviously. This wasn't something that we just kind of said, "Hey, let's play it," and never practiced it or anything. I was like, "No, don't worry, we've been, playing it and stuff like that." And he said, "Okay," and he came out, and it turned out, and I love the Grateful Dead, I don't know, every little thing they did and what years they played these songs and stuff. I never got that kind of into it. But turned out he hadn't played that song in a long time with any band. And within, I don't know what it wasn't too long, couple months or something, he was playing it with Rat Dog. Like, I think and that was cool. Because I think
it off for him.
Yeah, he must have had a good time playing it, I'm assuming. Maybe he said that night, but I certainly don't remember that. And so, I guess those would be my three. And there was another part of that question. It was favorite covers
cover and
what was it? See, I talk so long I can't. Getting old.
I got it right in front of me here.
Getting old.
Your favorite concert that you ever saw?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. Okay, so the first one that comes to mind, nobody, unless they've talked to me about this, would even have any clue I was going to say this. But I once saw Bette Midler, and Bette Midler was amazing.
Blew your mind.
Blew my mind. She was so fantastic, just the quality of her performance and her voice. Great songs. It was at Blossom.
At Blossom.
I don't know what year it was. And actually, she had two dancers that during one song, I'm not sure what song it was, but this is cool because this ties into Acoustic Hookah actually. they were wearing these huge heads, for lack of a better word, but the head wasn't from here up; it came all the way like down to here, like these huge heads. And it turns out that James Vogel, made those.
Oh, wow.
So James Vogel is a friend of ours who did the artwork for Dubbabunna. And he, now he's back in Ohio living, but for a long time he was living in New York, and he worked with a lot of Broadway productions and stuff like that. And he told me later on, he was like, "Oh, you were at that show. I worked on that, set and stuff." And so they were wearing this stuff that James made, and it was kind of cool, basically. So, but that's not my only favorite concert. Okay, so Bette Midler, unbelievable concert. I would say it's really hard because I'd have to go through the different genres of music that I'd like to see live, because, you know what I mean?
Like a top 5, a top 3.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Iron Maiden was amazing live. Queensryche. First time I saw Queensryche, they opened for Kiss and absolutely blew the doors off the place. That was amazing. Jeff Tate, the vocalist, one of the greatest vocalists ever to sing rock and roll, in my opinion. Eddie Nail, I hadn't seen him live up to that point, and this was after their first album, so I didn't really like them as much after that. But up to that point, I loved their stuff, and I didn't think he could do that live, and he was incredible. And same thing with Bruce Dickinson, the vocalist from Iron Maiden, was fantastic. So that would be like that genre of music. I've seen James Taylor a bunch of times. I love seeing James Taylor every time. It doesn't matter how old he gets. I love seeing Carole King. I saw her, I think, what she called, like From the Living Room, her living room tour. So she was like sitting on a couch, and her musicians, some would play, some would sit and drink while they were playing. And she actually wrote a song every night.
Oh, wow.
During the show. That was really cool. So for the singer-songwriter thing, maybe that.
But Iron Maiden in like the rock category.
Iron Maiden was amazing. Yeah. And
was that when they had like the giant?
Yeah, the Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And then with more, I don't, other than playing jam band festivals and stuff, I don't really see jam bands.
Okay.
I don't know why that is. That's just not what I do. Maybe because I've lived in that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But once upon a time, there was.
Well, but I loved, I don't know. Bad Company was a great show. I mean, yeah. I love so many shows. I can't really say favorite show because they're all great in the moment. But like I said, the first one that comes to mind is Bette Midler. So we'll go with Bette Midler.
Okay, Bette Midler is the favorite. Let's take a question from our Zoom. Ryan McGuire says he wants to ask about Slip Jig. What do you want to ask about it? It's your turn here.
Okay.
Hi. How you doing, Ryan?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So the first time I heard Slip Jig was before I actually saw you guys live. So I think it was on the red and blue disc. And that version, while awesome, is a bit of a slower tempo than the version that you play these days. So by the time I actually saw it live, it was a whole different monster, and it took me by surprise, and just like, basically, it was amazing. So I've always been curious of where did the title come from? How did you come to name it that? And was that one of your first instrumentals that you wrote with the band? And I guess I'm just curious to hear about the evolution of it over the years, and maybe how the writing process went.
Okay. All right, Slip Jig. We'll start with we'll start with just the slower to faster thing. That's just, I don't know if it was me pushing the tempo over time, but sometimes songs just do that. They just change that. And I'm glad you like it better the fast way. I don't really remember playing it the slow way, so I guess I'd have to go back and listen to it. Excuse me. So the writing process and the name. All right, let's go with the name first. The name Slip Jig. A slip jig is an Irish dance that everybody's probably heard of an Irish jig. So I don't know if all Irish dances are called jigs or not, but a slip jig in particular is a dance done to a tempo of 9. So if people, just real quick, I talked about this last Wednesday. When I don't want to say tempo, that was wrong. The time signature, it's 9/8. So the normal time signature is 4. 90% of the music you hear is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. You can count that in 3 and 5 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, whatever you want. And a slip jig is a dance done to a song that's in 9/8. So that's where the slip jig comes from. Through the Poppy Fields is basically because when I was picturing somebody doing slip jig, or doing whatever dance it was going to be, I pictured it happening. I pictured the Wizard of Oz, and I pictured them dancing through the poppy fields, like arm in arm, doing a slip jig through the poppy fields. Naming instrumentals is hard for me because there are no lyrics. There's nothing to draw off of in that way. So you have to go with a feel. I have to go with a feel. What does it make me feel like? That's what it made me feel like. I can't go. There's no more to the name really than that. The slip jig. There's a part in the song that is in 9, which I'll tell you when I get to the writing part. So that's the name of it. The writing part of it's pretty basic. In my mind, it was a pretty basic process, anyways. And when I write songs, they come all different ways. I have no way to do it. No, I don't start here and end here. Sometimes I start here and end here. I'll start here and I'll go to here and then back to here and go all the way to here and back. It can happen anyway. This particular one, I think it would probably be better if I kind of showed you something. So I'll go over the piano. If you can grab the camera.
Yep.
And I'll show you. I'll kind of show you how it came about. As best I can remember, anyways.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're traveling.
See what I did for all of y'all? He's gonna play slip jig on the piano.
I don't know about playing the whole song. That would be a little boring, but.
This is what the rest of Dave's basement looks like.
All right. So you tell me when I'm in the camera or whatever you need from me here.
Jackpot.
All right. Can you see this? Where am I? Yeah, I'm kind of there. Wonder if we can get. Is there a way to actually get it down on the hands? Yeah. Or maybe from up here, because then you can see. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So, slip jig. The majority of this song is 2 chords, and that's all it is. Okay. So, basically, it's in C. It's in C minor.
Well, it's like you can't say anything to anybody.
They might have.
Oh, I can hear you. I'm still new at this with the hearing you thing. Okay.
Well, that dude.
So
I could hear that dude talk.
They must have let him on.
Someone's not on mute. That's what's happening.
Oh, he's still there. He's happy. He's a fucking old hippie. He's
Johnny T put this thing on mute.
sat upstairs in their fucking house today.
Hey, Johnny T, hit your mute.
She had some pretty cool shit.
Is that her art or his art or?
Pretty sure it's her.
if everybody on Zoom could hit mute, that would be great. Can y'all do that, please?
What is that?
Otherwise, the people on mute can't hear it. I mean, people on Zoom can't hear it. We getting better here?
Can't figure out how to mute this dude.
Johnny
I found it. Found it. Mute.
All right, good. Are we good now?
We're good.
Is the echo gone, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm playing with it in C. This is a C. If nobody knows,
This guy's so interesting.
these are all C's. Okay, I don't want to make that too loud. Can you hear that? Can you hear the piano?
Oh, did you see him? Is he there?
The piano?
I can't. But Johnny T is still on unmuted.
Somebody's still muted.
Oh,
Unmuted.
that is here. Oh, he's
Karen, can you hit mute all on your end?
Yeah. I don't know. It's not.
It's like that staff cut.
Because I made Emily a host, it won't let me do it.
Mute yourself, please, sir.
If you hit the participants, you can mute that guy for me.
Well, who's the little girl that just keeps popping up and shit?
I got you. I was the phone on front, so I forgot.
I can't mute him.
Crap.
I don't
And
know.
I was trying to do it on my computer.
Oh my.
I'm on 2 different
Is she alive?
ones. Yeah. Hold on.
I'm trying so hard.
He might be dead.
Oh, there it is. He's muted.
Yay!
Okay. All right. I'm sorry about that. So we're in C. So I'm playing a C in the bass, and then I'm gonna do this like it's just a hammer-on thing right here. And I guess you call I never really thought about what chord I'm playing, but it's kind of a C suspended. So the E is now a G, and then I'm rolling up from the 1 to the 2, or making it a 9 essentially. Okay, so when I'm starting the song, it's all the same chord. I'm just kind of playing around with where I'm playing it. Then I'm going to the G. In the G, again, it's a minor thing, so the chord is G minor, but I'm doing like this roll down. So it's the same kind of thing where I'm going. And then I just go back and forth between those two things. So the initial part of writing this song was exactly that. I just started, I don't know, I sat down, I was probably high or whatever it was, I just started going. And it just sounded cool. So I was like, okay, we can go with this. Go to the G. So back and forth there. Then I had to come up with a run to get out of it, which is the... Oh, that's the wrong one, I'm sorry. let me find out where I am. I can't think of how it goes, I haven't played so long. How's it going? Yeah, I keep thinking of dumpster.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Right, okay, so I came up with that, which is basically just notes from that first chord that I was playing. Then I'm going back and forth. The bulk of the song, so you call it the head of the song or the meat of the song, is just C to G back and forth with that. Same thing up here. Same thing, back and forth. So instead of going to the G, I'm going to the F. So basically, we're in a 1-4-5 chord. We're using the 1-4-5 chords out of C, which is a basic thing that they use in blues, in a lot of kind of music. But it's not very complicated. I'm doing the same thing over and over. Certainly makes it sound a lot more interesting when you have a whole band playing it. But that's what's basically going on there. And then I have the same thing. Well, there's that other thing that comes out of it. What is it? Sorry. I forget what I do. Well, I do whatever I do there. I'll think of it soon. But it's weird how it's different when you're not playing it in the heat of the moment. But so. After that, we just go back to the same thing and Sweeney starts soloing. So I'm just doing the same thing over and over until that break comes again. Then the 9 part comes in. Now the 9 part's interesting because it's in a polyrhythm. This is the only thing complicated about the song. I'm playing it a 9/8 time, so I'm playing a... So you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you count it, it's hard to count it and play it. But here, you count, Corinne. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Woo. So that's the way that's going. It's in 9. After 4 times of doing it, I move it up a half step. So basically all that's doing is building tension. So from a songwriter's perspective, I'm trying to make this as intense as I can make it, right? Every time it goes up, it gets more and more intense. And when it comes back down, it in a way still, it kind of eases the tension back off to get back to the part we were at. So, I don't want to play the whole thing, but if I'm going, where was I? I can't play it. I do it twice here. And I go up. And I go up again. And back down. Then we're back. So we're just going back to the same part there. So that 9, the reason it sounds more interesting than when I was just playing is because the drums are staying in straight time underneath it. It's what's called the polyrhythm. So I'm playing 9/8, the drums are playing in a straight 4. So the drums, I'll play it on my chest, the drums are going boom. And I'm going. So you can see the drums come together when I raise to the next chord, when I raise a half a step. It's polyrhythm. He's playing in 4, I'm playing in 9, then it becomes simple math. Least common denominator is 36 between the two of them, so everything's going to come together in 36 beats.
That makes sense.
So it all comes together. The guitars at that point, what Sweeney's playing, usually, generally speaking, Sarge mimics him, or plays a harmony with him. They're playing 6. They're playing 6/8, which works mathematically to still come out after 36. So you have 3 different rhythms going together all at the same time, and it's kind of a cool part. So after that, we go back to it. We come out of it, and then we get to that the slower part. But what it does is it changes feel to a 6. So you got that that's what it is. It's so it's, what is it? I still can't remember. Sing it to me. What is it? It's I can't think of what it is. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. I just can't think of the notes right now. This is pretty pathetic, actually. So then Eric does this little blah, 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 and we all come in. So he goes blah, blah, blah. We go, so now we're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something like that, right? Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Good thing I'm not singing it last night. So, again, we're in the same chords. They're the same chords as the meat of the song. We're just kind of changing the whole feel of it, tempo, feel, it's slowing down. It's going to a 6/8, 6/8, whatever you call it, time signature. And I go to electric piano, everybody plays softer tones, just changes the whole feel of it. Then we simply bring it out of that by changing the tempo back from the 6 to the 4. So you're in that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, So again, same thing. We just going back from the 6 to the 4, which is going to bring it back to the head of the song, essentially.
Sure.
That's the whole song. There's nothing more to it. It's just that. So it's a really easy song, but then you go into the polyrhythm part, which is a little odd.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate that breakdown, and like, just, you know, the name and how you came to that. That's what I envisioned. Like, just hearing it, I kind of this skipping through the Wizard of Oz type of thing. So that added up. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah. That comes through in an instrumental. And also the tension building and releasing also comes through, because I can totally feel that. It reminds me of The Beast at Kings Island, where it has 2 sections of going up a big hill and then coming down. Right? You have this tension, then the release, and then it goes up again. And that's what it reminds me of. It's like when I hear that opening tone that slip jig is coming, it's like, put on the belt, you know, keep your arms and hands in the coaster while you're riding, you know.
Hang on tight. Hang on tight.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you for breaking that down. That's amazing. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
All right. Hey, Amanda sent us a question. Amanda, do you want to ask your question on camera? No? Did they go away? Okay. Oh, yeah, there she is. All right, Amanda, you are unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Hi.
Here we go. We are going to pin you for a second. Can everybody see Amanda? Go ahead and ask your question, lady.
My question, I saw a quick rumor on Facebook.
Ooh, rumors.
Live Hookahville streaming.
Live Hookahville
Also,
stream.
compliment you on how well you're doing with your live streaming.
Thank you.
Do we want to comment on whether there could be a live streamed Hookahville? That's a very good question.
Yeah, there definitely could be a live stream Hookahville.
All right.
I think there could be. It's a good idea, Amanda.
That would be great.
Should I bring that up to the powers that be?
I don't know if you know, but I usually take every year I get 2 weeks of vacation, and I always take Hookahville. So I'm off that weekend.
You know what? I can say that everybody should probably keep that weekend off.
All right.
I think. Maybe. Possibly. Cool.
All right, I got a weird question from our pal North. All right.
Unless I need to be here.
No, you don't.
Okay.
We're gonna travel again.
We're gonna travel. We're going.
I have a lot of cables now.
I'll help you.
Which way is this one going? Yep, got it. I'm good. This is a tour of Dave's basement. Yep, we're gonna switch back into lounge mode. Dave's gonna walk away for 1 minute.
Oh dear God.
I'll take this minute while Dave is using the restroom to show you this sweet sign I made for him today. Totally optional. But I made this thing for our pal. If anybody feels like sending a tip of any kind or buying merchandise, there's lots of autographed Dave Katz stuff at this website right here.
That is awesome. He needed that.
Hey, Corinne.
I showed everybody the sign I made you.
This is a very cool sign. Thank you.
Hey, Corinne, I got a question.
All right.
Hey, Corinne.
Hold on, wait. We got.
I have all kinds of questions.
All right. Whoever is Johnny T, keep your mic on mute unless we put the camera on you, okay? And let us pull up our pal Jameson, who's got a question.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? I was over here brushing my hair,
I can see that.
getting ready for you.
It looks very Maine-like.
I washed it today, man. First time in like 2 weeks.
Looking good.
Thank you. Good to see you guys. First thing. Second thing, give us top 3 Hookahville moments.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. All right.
As a performer. As a top 3 Hookahville moments as a performer.
Yeah, as a performer. Okay. Wow. Let's see. Well, one, I guess I didn't talk about it exactly, but one would certainly be the first time Bob Weir was there, you know, which would be '99, and that was just a really surreal moment, playing his songs with him on stage. If I remember right, I guess that year we must have done Throwing Stones and Sugar Magnolia.
Yes.
And one story, you know, one thing that went with that is that, so we obviously talked to him about what we were going to do, and we got on stage, we called him up on stage, and Eric counted off the song, and we were going to play Throwing Stones, and, you know, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we all went into Throwing Stones, and Bob Weir went into Sugar Magnolia. So, that was pretty funny. If you watch the video, which I think is that one that's up on YouTube all the time, or on Facebook, it's probably on YouTube, you can see the confusion, and we had to start over. So that was good. Looks like your battery's running low.
Mm-hmm. I'll plug in.
So that would be a big one. I think that, you know, the first time, and I don't remember much about this gig, but the first time we played the Wetlands in New York was really cool. That was just something where, you know, it's such an iconic venue, and I'd heard so much about it, I had no idea what to expect when we walked in there, what it would look like. It's just this little place. There's nothing spectacular about it whatsoever. Excuse me, other than downstairs they have like an opium den, basically. They're closed now, but a big room with just pillows everywhere. And playing there, it was a packed, probably sold out, I don't remember, a packed crowd. And that just felt good to play in that venue. Just being at the Wetlands Preserve, you know, it's like, what a huge thing, even though it's a little place, it's such a huge thing. So I remember that being a big one. And then I think, third. Oh, wait a second. Did you say Hookahville?
Yes, he said top 3 Hookahville moments.
All right, scratch that last one. I need a drink. I'm going to have a drink. Hold on a second.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Forget about that. I didn't mean that. I didn't say anything about the Wetlands Preserve. Okay, let's go back to Hookahville. Hookahville. Okay. Very cool moment of Hookahville was after, I have no idea what year it was. I do know it was Frontier Ranch. And we did, as the last encore, we did Beginnings by Chicago. Horn section, backup vocals, the whole bit. And we had this like vision of, the name of the song is The Beginning, but it was the end of the whole shebang, basically. But it was still a beginning, you know, because it never really ends. So we thought we'd have all of the musicians that played, that were still there that night, certainly, and if they were there from the day before or whatever, came up on stage and they all had, you know, percussion instruments and shakers and tambourines and cowbells and whatever they could get. And we just had this, like, thing, this jam, and we just did it, this percussion jam, until we all just walked off stage while doing the percussion. That was really cool. I think the crowd kind of, if I remember, they reacted pretty well to it anyways. And then third one, it's hard to pinpoint them. Third one would be, well, definitely, probably last year when I got to go up on stage with Glow Stick Willie.
That's a great answer.
Without a doubt, that would be.
It was legendary, man.
It was legendary, man. We did Dixie Highway. I mean, come on. Nobody
Oh,
covers
man.
Dixie
We
Highway.
actually just did that on the stream the other night. Chris Bro was over, and it was
Awesome.
we jammed it out so hard. Dude.
Awesome. Great song. So I'll go with those. I'll go with those three.
Thank you. Good to
All
see
right.
you guys.
Thank you, man.
I am going to read you a question from a particular Canadian who would like to remain nameless.
Okay.
Who submitted this privately.
That does narrow it down.
It does narrow it down.
It does narrow it down.
He says, so one night Dave said something like they had schwad someone. Later that night I asked what that meant, and he told me the only way I will find out is the hard way. What the bleep is getting schwad?
Okay.
Well, I think you know when it happens, right?
You definitely know when it happens.
Dave, I'm here.
Hey.
I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you. What's up, buddy?
We have our
Right
buddy.
on, buddy. How are you?
We have our buddy on the Zoom meeting somewhere down here.
So
Oh.
I was gonna stay behind the curtain, but
There he is. What's up, Ray?
and you know what? This is the first time I've worn a Grateful Dead T-shirt in probably 20 years.
Really?
Found it at Walmart the other day. Strangest thing, I had to buy it.
It's amazing.